What's really happening in Ukraine right now? Getting to the bottom of that is harder than figuring out a David Lynch film while on acid. Actually, it might be easier on acid. Look, no one is arguing that no innocent civilians have died in Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But are we now at a place where we don't even care what the truth is? It's now just totally cool for our media to print Russian soldiers eat entire Ukrainian orphanage, even though they weren't even hungry at the time. Or should we maybe still care what the reality is, even if we're opposed to the Russian invasion, and no one is denying that innocent civilians have died, and reality kind of sucks right now, especially with climate change, having to take down our Fresh Prince of Bel-Air posters, and I have that stuff growing between my toes. Reality sucks, but maybe we should still want to know the truth. And if you've been paying attention, you probably noticed our media has already put out loads of fake news. You'll recall the US government and others said Russia was going to use chemical weapons, but it didn't. And then last week, 3 US officials told NBC News there is no evidence Russia has brought any chemical weapons near Ukraine. So that whole Russia's about to use chemical weapons story was based on Mad Libs? Oh, that also explains the New York Times headline, Russia plans to soup can Farty, Minnesota. The US government and others next said Russia is stockpiling corpses of Ukrainian soldiers to use in a false flag attack on Chernobyl. Didn't happen. The only thing stockpiled at Chernobyl is feral dogs with 3 eyes and 5.5 legs. But man, they can play fetch like nobody's business. Side note, the other day I was walking my dog, picked up his poop like a good neighbor, then got home and realized I didn't have the bag of poop. I had lost my bag of poop. But can one actually lose a bag of poop? Should I look for it? Should I retrace my steps? Where did I last have my bag of poop? If I found my bag of poop, does that count as a win? Should I celebrate? I found the poop! Please let me know in the comment section. Anyway, Biden and others also said Russia was asking for and might get military help from China. But about that. Now, U.S. officials said there are no indications China is considering providing weapons to Russia. Biden and others also said Russia was simply aiming at civilian targets, also proven not true. So why is our government and our media getting these stories as wrong as every take Whoopi Goldberg has ever had? Especially when the truth is bad enough. Russia is bombing Ukraine. People are dying. War is disgusting. So why can't our government, filled with very rich lunatics, and our mainstream media, filled with slightly less rich lunatics, get the news right? Well, it's not that they're accidentally getting these stories wrong. As journalist Caitlin Johnstone wrote the other day, U.S. officials admit they're literally just lying to the public about Russia. Even neoliberal war hawk network NBC News reported it. They said, in a break with the past, U.S. is using intel to fight an info war with Russia even when the intel isn't rock solid. And by not rock solid, they mean completely made up. The 2015 stock performance of Theranos was more grounded in reality. The officials say the Biden administration has been rapidly pushing out intelligence about Russia's plans in Ukraine that is low confidence or based more on analysis than hard evidence, or even just plain false, in order to fight an information war against Putin. Low confidence? So if we have low confidence in Biden and low confidence in our poorly named intelligence services, and then they have low confidence in the bullcrap info they're feeding us, by the time the sausage is done being made and oozes out the rectum side of CNN, Fox News, and the Washington Post, none of us should believe any of it. Caitlin Johnstone also pointed out former MI6 chief John Sawers told the Atlantic Council think tank in February that Biden administration's intelligence releases were based more on a general vibe than actual intelligence and were designed to manipulate rather than informed. Designed to manipulate? A general vibe? We're trusting news stories based on a general vibe? That's insane. Besides, I thought the general vibe of the Biden administration was final days of Charlton Heston cursing at his diapers? Or Mr. Burns propped up using Spanx duct tape and embalming fluid? Is that not the vibe we're supposed to get? That's what I've been getting. Don't forget, the US government has a long history of lying to their own people. They lied us into Vietnam, Iraq, Syria, Libya, Afghanistan, Iran, Panama, Haiti, Guatemala, Chile. Hell, they even lied me personally into a McDonald's once. I thought the McRib sandwich must be made out of either ribs or Irish people, but it's neither. The 22-page waiver you have to sign to buy one says so. and you have to sign in synthetic barbecue sauce. Back in 2013, Congress even repealed a ban on spreading U.S. government propaganda to Americans. Our ruling elite wanted to make sure that they have the right to completely lie to us. If we know the mainstream media and our government are literally making shit up to tell us about Russia, do we even need them anymore? Couldn't we make up stuff ourselves? Why doesn't CNN just run with, Americans, please stay home today and tell yourself some crazy shit about Russia? Extra points for creativity. So to sum up here, if the US government has now admitted they are making everything up, then shouldn't the mainstream media stop reporting it as if it's true? And shouldn't Americans stop believing the media's trash? Even if you're opposed to the Russian invasion, like I am, and opposed to NATO expansion, like I am, shouldn't you still want the truth? Let me know what you think. Leave a comment, or better yet, become a member at patreon.com/LeeCamp and get exclusive content. Until next time, keep fighting.